Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 59, number 523. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet stayed with Safiya bint Huyai for 3 days on the way of Khaybar, where he consummated his marriage with her. Safiya was amongst those who were ordered to use a veil. Volume 5, Book 59, number 524. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet stayed for 3 nights between Khaybar and Medina and was married to Safiya. I invited the Muslim to his marriage banquet, and there were neither meat nor bread in that banquet. But the Prophet ordered Bilal to spread the leather mats on which dates, dried yogurt and butter were put. The Muslims said amongst themselves, "Will she, i.e. Safiya, be one of the mothers of the believers, i.e. one of the wives of the Prophet, or just a lady captive, of what his right hand possesses?" Some of them said, "If the Prophet makes her observe the veil, then she will be one of the mothers of the believers, i.e. one of the Prophet's wives, and if he does not make her observe the veil, then she will be his lady slave." So when he departed, he made a place for her behind him, on his, and made her observe the veil. Volume 5, Book 59, number 525. Narrated by Abdullah bin Mughaffal. While we were besieging Khaybar, a person threw a leather container containing some fat, and I ran to take it. Suddenly I looked behind, and behold, the Prophet was there. So I felt shy to take it then. Volume 5, Book 59, number 526. Narrated by Ibn Umar. On the day of Khaybar, Allah's apostle forbade the eating of garlic and the meat of donkeys. Volume 5, Book 59, number 527. Narrated by Ali bin Abi Talib. On the day of Khaybar, Allah's apostle forbade the mut, i.e. temporary marriage, and the eating of donkey meat. Volume 5, Book 59, number 528. Narrated by Ibn Umar. On the day of Khaybar, Allah's apostle forbade the eating of donkey meat. Volume 5, Book 59, number 529. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Allah's apostle forbade the eating of donkey meat. Volume 5, Book 59, number 530. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. On the day of Khaybar, Allah's apostle forbade the eating of donkey meat and allowed the eating of horse meat. Volume 5, Book 59, number 531. Narrated by Ibn Abi Awfa. We were afflicted with severe hunger on the day of Khaybar. While the cooking pots were boiling and some of the food was well cooked, the announcer of the Prophet came to say, "Do not eat anything the donkey meat and upset the cooking pots." We then thought that the Prophet had prohibited such food because the kummas had not been taken out of it. Some others said, he prohibited the meat of donkeys from the point of view of principle, because donkeys used to eat dirty things. Volume 5, Book 59, number 532. Narrated by Al-Bara and Abdullah bin Abi al-Awfa, that when they were in the company of the Prophet, they got some donkeys which they slaughtered and cooked. Then the announcer of the Prophet said, "Turn the cooking pots upside down, i.e. throw out the meat." Volume 5, Book 59, number 533. Narrated by Al-Bara and Ibn Abi Awfa. On the day of Khaybar, when the cooking pots were put on the fire, the Prophet said, "Turn the cooking pots upside down." Volume 5, Book 59, number 534. Narrated by Al-Bara. We took part in a ghazwa with the Prophet, same as Hadith number 533. Volume 5, Book 59, number 535. Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. During the ghazwa of Khaybar, the Prophet ordered us to throw away the meat of the donkeys whether it was still raw or cooked. He did not allow us to eat it later on. Volume 5, Book 59, number 536. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. I do not know whether the Prophet forbade the eating of donkey meat, temporarily, because they were the beasts of burden for the people, and he disliked that their means of transportation should be lost, or he forbade it on the day of Khaybar permanently. Volume 5, Book 59, number 537. Narrated by Ibn Umar. On the day of Khaybar, Allah's Apostle divided the war booty of Khaybar with the ratio of 2 shares for the horse and 1 share for the foot soldier. The sub-narrator, Nafi, explained this, saying, if a man had a horse, he was given 3 shares, and if he had no horse, then he was given 1 share. Volume 5, Book 59, number 538. Narrated by Jubair bin Mut'im. Uthman bin Affan and I went to the Prophet and said, you had given Banu al-Muttalib from the Khumus of Khaybar's booty and left us in spite of the fact that we and Banu al-Muttalib are similarly related to you. The Prophet said, Banu Hashim and Banu al-Muttalib only are one and the same. So the Prophet did not give anything to Banu Abd Shams and Banu Nawfal. Volume 5, Book 59, number 539. Narrated by Abu Musa. The news of the migration of the Prophet, from Mecca to Medina, reached us while we were in Yemen. So we set out as emigrants towards him. We were 3, I and my 2 brothers. I was the youngest of them, and one of the 2 was Abu Burda, and the other, Abu Rum, and our total number was either 53 or 52 men from my people. We got on board a boat, and our boat took us to Negus in Ethiopia. There we met Ja'far bin Abi Talib and stayed with him. Then we all came to Medina and met the Prophet at the time of the conquest of Khaybar. Some of the people used to say to us, namely the people of the ship, we have migrated before you. Asma bint Umays, who was one of those who had come with us, came as a visitor to Hafsa, the wife of the Prophet. She had migrated along with those other Muslims who migrated to Negus. Umar came to Hafsa while Asma bint Umays was with her. Umar, on seeing Asma, said, who is this? She said, Asma bint Umays. Umar said, is she the Ethiopian? Is she the seafaring lady? Asma replied, yes. Umar said, we have migrated before you, people of the boat, so we have got more right than you over Allah's Apostle. On that Asma became angry and said, no, by Allah, while you were with Allah's Apostle who was feeding the hungry ones amongst you, and advised the ignorant ones amongst you, we were in the far-off hated land of Ethiopia. And all that was for the sake of Allah's Apostle. By Allah, I will neither eat any food nor drink anything till I inform Allah's Apostle of all that you have said. There we were harmed and frightened. I will mention this to the Prophet and will not tell a lie or curtail your saying or add something to it. So when the Prophet came, she said, O Allah's Prophet, Umar has said so and so. He said to Asma, what did you say to him? Asma's aide, I told him so and so. The Prophet said, he, i.e., Umar, has not got more right than you people over me, as he and his companions have the reward of only 1 migration. And you, the people of the boat, have the reward of 2 migrations. Asma later on said, I saw Abu Musa and the other people of the boat coming to me in successive groups, asking me about this narration. And to them nothing in the world was more cheerful and greater than what the Prophet had said about them. Narrated Abu Burda. Asma said, I saw Abu Musa requesting me to repeat this narration again and again. Narrated Abu Burda. Abu Musa said, the Prophet said, I recognize the voice of the group of Al-Ashariyan, when they recite the Quran, when they enter their homes at night. And I recognize their houses by listening to their voices when they are reciting the Quran at night, although I have not seen their houses when they came to them during the daytime. Amongst them is Hakim who, on meeting the cavalry or the enemy, used to say to them, i.e. the enemy, my companions order you to wait for them.